Hello, Twitch. Hello, YouTube. I am JMO Jen, aka Master Michelle, and I am here to do another review for you. Oh, if I don't throw stuff on the ground. All right, today's product that I am taking a look at and going to show you a little bit more about is, hold on, my TV just came on. The product I'm looking at today. No! Sorry about that. All right. The strain review I'm doing for you today is a strain called Mango Haze, and I picked up a container of what's called live butter. And I have tried this already, so I've used some of it. But I want to show you. You got to push down and unscrew it at the same time. And so, yeah. It's just like a yellow concentrate. It's like a really kind of a very viscous, very oily, sticky mass of stuff, right? And it smells, it smells like pure perfume. I mean, like, basically what this is just all the good stuff from the plant material, from the cannabis plant, the mango sativa strain cannabis plant. And they extract this and sell it to you in a 1 gram package. I think I got it for like $37 on sale. Normally, it's usually between $45 and $65, and it can go up for live butter, which is more sought after. And listen, concentrates from RSO to distillate to live butter, batter, wax, shatter, crumble, all of those things, all the concentrates, it's all basically the same. It's just extracted in a different way. And so it comes out looking a little differently. If they put this all through a machine and whip air into it, then they'll call it butter. But if they leave it thick, they might call it batter, or they'll call it batter if it's fluffy and white looking, but it might be butter if it's not. There's not a lot of consistency, strains are all, the amount of oils that you can get from any particular batch of a strain is going to be different a little bit, but they're going to have similarities. So if you try Mango Haze and you like it, probably next time you try it, you'll like it too. I wanted to show you just a few of the things you need. And it's the easiest way to do it. And you know what? I don't have it with me, but I'm going to grab it really quick. I'm going to take just a second, and I'm going to grab something called a terp pen. So let me get over here real quick. I will be right back. Let's see, which one do we want? I think I can do it in 30 seconds. Let's see. Hello and welcome back. I did make it in the time allotted. I am back with you. And I even had time to silence my phone so I don't get interrupted again. Now, what I wanted to show you first off is this is something that I picked up for, I think it was like $25, maybe $35 at a dispensary called MUVE, which is spelled M-U-V in Florida. And basically, this is just like, if you've seen the vape cartridges, the vaporizer cartridges, the vape pens. Basically, what this is when you hold the button down or draw through it, it turns on a little heating element underneath this viscous liquid. And a little bit of it is warmed into a vapor. It's not smoke, it's actually vapor. It's a vaporized oil. Right? And this is also a sativa called Afghani. So that's what this does. So this is concentrate, not unlike. It's not exactly the same, but it's very, very similar, just a different extraction method. I think this is, anyway, it's different. They used a different way to extract the oils, but it's basically the same thing. And what happens in here, there's little wicking material that draws the warmed liquid in, and then it heats it enough to turn into a vapor. And so it's got a heating element in here. Now, those are the vape units, and you can buy the cartridge and the battery, and you recharge this battery, right? I'll unscrew it and show you, right? So you just screw this into the charger, plug it into your little USB, and recharge this so you can use this over and over again. So those vapes, the vape cartridges that you see when they go on sale, we will be reviewing. I have a review of an Entourage product from Liberty Health Sciences coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, that's just so you understand. The idea is to take this concentrate, heat it to the point that it turns into a vapor, which looks like steam or smoke, right? So it turns into a vapor, and then you can inhale it and absorb the medicine through your lungs. So we need something to warm it, and we need something to inhale it with. And so what they did was they took and made a pen, and it's basically a straw. It's like a metal straw. This is the mouthpiece, and down here at the end is an actual heating element, right? So there's no button on this. There's one little charging port, one little place to plug in a charge, and there's a little blue light that'll come on when it's activated. So for this, and I usually warm it up first. See, there was some on the end of it. So now that's going to be nice and hot, right? And I have my lid ready. It magnets right on there, which keeps this from burning anything, and it also kind of puts it out, so the next time you draw through this, you might not have to touch it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw through so that this gets hot, right? I'll see the little blue light. You can see that come on. And all I'm going to do is just gently touch the edge of the gold colored oil. That's all I'm going to do. Watch. Now what? Right? That is the simplest way to do it. You get your concentrate and you get your terp pen. Now, once every, I don't know, depends on how you use it. I don't go crazy using this all day long every day, and I've never changed it. I've never had to change the burner, the element. They say change it once a month, and it's like $10.99 for 2, I think. So it's not that expensive. You just unscrew this part down here. It's real easy. You just pop this off and put a new one on. I mean, literally, that's all you do, or the part inside, maybe, but it's like really super simple to change it out. But I haven't had to do that yet. And for $25, $35, I think maybe $35 that I paid for it at the most, this is one of the most economical things that I have ever gotten. Now, it is really super simple to plug in and charge. You just literally plug it in right there, and it charges up. That's it. It's charging, right? Now, here's the thing, though. It doesn't, the charge, it doesn't get as hot like every time you use it without charging it. So like if I hit it again, it's not quite as hot as it was the first time. And then it's not quite as hot as it was the second time on the third time, and so forth. But if you keep it on the charger and use it when you want to do a quick hit, a quick dab, it works beautifully. And if you're not a big user, if you're not going to like be trying to just use it all day long, It's perfect because when I take a hit or two and then I put it over on the charger and I'm good to go. The next time I want to grab my thing and take a hit, I do it again. And what I do is I have this little silicone mat, which I'll show you another use for in a second. But I have this little silicone mat, and I use that for all of my heat elements because sometimes you just need to, like, if you do smoke bowls of cannabis, if you smoke a bowl, sometimes you cover part of it to get the embers heated up more and to get more smoke through. And so the same action of partially covering it sort of limits the amount of air that's flowing through, so you get more vapor per air. Like, there's more vapor in the air that you're drawing through. So I'll use something like that. Or if you have a bowl, where did I had my little silicone block. I don't know where it went now. But if you have like a pipe or bowl with a silicone lid, you can use the lid. Sometimes some dispensaries will sell it to you in a smaller glass container with a little silicone lid on the top. Those are nice. Or you can do it right in the container. This is glass, right? The other thing you can do is to get like a small, I find fingernail, if you don't have dab tools, specifically dab tools, I find cuticle and nail tools to be excellent dab tools. You can get them at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Seriously. You don't have to buy the expensive stuff just because it says marijuana or cannabis on it. There are lots of products out there that are for other purposes that work really good. Anyway, this came from a smoke shop, but you can find silicone baking mats, smaller baking mats, and they're very durable. They're heat resistant. If you want to bake one cookie in your toaster oven, you can use it for that too. Anyway, a little heat mat's great to have. Now, besides so if you don't want to do a pen, and here's the thing too, you got to be careful. Make sure that these are ceramic and high quality metals. Some alloys aren't as good for you, might leave particles in whatever. So there is controversy about vaporizing it with electronic means like this. There's a lot of engineering and a lot of science involved, but not for you. It's simple. Plug it in, charge it up. When you're ready to take a hit, take the lid off, literally turn it, like breathe in. You don't even have to push a button. You just breathe in a few times, let it heat. I heat it up once or twice, breathe in a few times. And then, but it sits, like, it stays plugged in all the time. It's got its spot right over here. It just sits in my cup holder plugged in. No big deal. So it's ready to go. It is cool too to take with you if you want to charge it up and take it. Yeah, you can do that too. I'm not condoning being inebriated when you're driving. Don't drive under the influence. Yeah. Oh, hey, chats. I'm so sorry. I flipped over to a graphic stream. Hey, is that pliers? Hold on. Let me show that on the screen. I use a cheap set of pliers that I bent into different shape. They probably cost 24 cents. See, that's what I'm saying. Personally, you don't have enough for me. A vapor on. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is if you're looking at, thank you for bringing that up, Anita, and thanks for joining me today. If you are using, if you're vaping or dabbing for the lower burning terpenes, that's a great pen to use because it doesn't get up to that 800, 900 degrees. But I will show you now what I do. Really super simple. I do have this mat, just is kind of my like pot holder, if you will. I love blown glass, and mine's kind of a little dirty right now, but it's not pipe dirty. This is reclaim dirty. I need to clean the reclaim out of it, but it's all good. So I just use a simple hand blown glass, and Honestly, I went to the shop and I touched them and felt them, and I'm looking for something with a really small hole where you're putting in contact and comfortable enough of a chamber to kind of cool the vape a little bit as it's coming to your throat. You don't want to be so close to where you're making the vapor that you're burning the inside of your throat because you're right here coming right off it. It's better to have a little bit longer distance. And honestly, this one is nice for me because it fits into this little silicone eyeglass case. I take this and roll it like that and put it in this little, I don't know, the old style change purse. It's got that kind of clip on it, and it's a long, wide hinge. It's for glasses from the hospital when my partner was in surgery. But I use it because it's silicone, and it protects this stuff. And I can fit this, my piece and my mat and maybe my container of product and my little lighter. And I wanted to show you this. I typically enjoy getting, in the past I've gotten a mini torch from Home Depot just because I found that the ones I got from the smoke shops seem to like not last very long. And so I figured, let me go to the tool store where they actually sell tools that people use to work with over and over again every day. Maybe they're built stronger, better, whatever. And that was the case for a while. I found a little one that's about the size of a Bic that I ended up having to put a really big keychain on it because I didn't want to lose it. It was a $10, little tiny Bic sized, but it was a $10 lighter. And that one lasted me a good amount of time. And that was a Benzomatic brand, but they don't sell those anymore. And the little cover on the top, it didn't do anything. It didn't harm anything, but the little cover on the top was never quite right. Like it broke early on. My mom, for my birthday, she's so sweet. I love my mom. I love sugar skulls. I have sugar skulls all over in the house. I have all kinds of, there's a sugar skull in one of my artwork right behind, if you can see it. Anyway, I have sugar skulls all over the place. So my mom says, I got you a sugar skull lighter. And I love her. But that's a zombie mom. But that's okay. So I have this little zombie lighter, and it's not just a regular lighter. Yeah, I hate butane. Because of that, I've used propane and have had no problems. It's a little funny looking, but aesthetics don't bother me. I know I have a propane torch for in the garage for, as a torch for work, for, doing stuff in the garage. But I found this little blue flame torch from mom got it for me and gave it to me for my birthday. And I do use a butane, I use the butane fuel and the blue flame, but I don't inhale it. I just use it as heat. And I do use the Bic, of course. This one's kind of cool. I like this lighter. It's got like this smoke wrap on it. It looks like smoke. It's kind of cool. I'm surprised the label's still on. I have this thing about labels and like those shrink wrap stuff. I always end up picking at it and pulling it off. And there's a white lighter underneath usually, Anyway, so, for this simple, anybody watching looking for information on how to do this, I just take my live butter and I'm just going to, same thing, instead of pushing or drawing through the pen and heating the tip, I'm going to use the lighter to do it. And here's the thing, don't burn yourself. This makes heat come really hot from right above it, okay? Heat rises, okay? So if I hold it straight above, the heat very well may hit my fingers, right? Like you can do that. It'll burn you, so be careful. And I'm saying that because I do hold it more straight over, but I'm paying attention to where that the heat line is so I don't burn myself. Yeah, heads are stoked. Yes, I agree. Heads are restrictive. Anyway. And I just basically torch the end of this until it's red hot, which doesn't take long at all. It's already going. I don't know if you can tell. It's already red hot. By the time I put the lighter down, see there, red hot, and come over here. And I'll kind of restrict the airflow and kind of wipe the tip because, you know, it keeps it cleaner, right? And the other thing too, I don't care what anybody says. I've been using cannabis for over 30 years. And when you hold a hit, you get more benefit from the chemicals in the actual smoke. It's actually, the scientific principle is osmosis. And so in osmosis, it has to do with time. As time passes, the particles cross from, say, so in other words, if you put a drop of food coloring in a glass of water, those food coloring drops are going to dissipate into the water through osmosis. So it's basically a balancing of the molecules and stuff around. And so when you inhale, especially a high quality, and that's so tasty, a high quality live butter, live rosin product. Yeah. Wow, that's so good. That's so good. It's distracting. Did you see that? Oh, I used it correctly, did I? I had to figure it out. Look, I'm an old school stoner. I can roll a joint with my eyes closed and one hand on the wheel. I mean, like, no. I'm making a joke. Don't be crazy in the car. I'm not condoning dangerous and stupid things in the car. Don't drive and roll a joint. Pull over for a minute. Jesus, there's no emergency, right? If it's a weed emergency, pull over and take care of it and stop and take care of yourself. And if it's a driving emergency, then pay attention to what you're doing and drive, right? Anyway, yeah, and to explain thank you for that. You actually used the dab straw correctly. That's a rarity. Thanks. That's, you know what, honestly, that's where the nickname Master Michelle came from, because I'm a perfectionist. Like, if I study a religion, I immerse myself in the entire process. Like, I want to go learn what they teach their kids in Sunday school. What do they teach their preteens, their teenagers? How do their adults study? Like, what do they believe? Like, how do they live? What do they eat? What do they wear? How do they think? I want to know everything about it. So, I'm a OCD perfectionist when it comes to that. That's where my nickname came from. You just dabbed cookies. Awesome. This is, well, cheers, my friend. This is called Mango Haze, and it is from Trulieve. It is a MUSE product, MUSE, MUSE, from Trulieve dispensaries in Florida. And this is decadent. It's a sativa leaning. Look, sativa and indica is somebody like taking a couple hits and going, okay, I feel nice and relaxed. It's an indica. I mean, pretty much. You can look at the terpenes and kind of determine. I look at the terpenes for their specific medicinal benefits, and then each strain is like its own new drug, like a new prescription for different specific ailments and general maladies, whatever. Me too. I can tell we have a lot in common. Yeah, that's cool. I try to keep it simple. I do like the nectar straw, the nectar collector. You can go pretty much, it's a pretty common, it's like a Tinker Toy kit. And it's usually like a red box, and it has a bubbler. And I'm going like this because I got the smallest one, because I like little things. I don't like big monstrosities. Like, I don't like big pieces. There's a plastic machine at work had a random problem that affected work. I spent 2 weeks researching it, diagnosed the problem, just to be met with that problem doesn't bother us. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, you got to know the details, right? I mean, I want to learn everything. I want to, which is why when I was a massage therapist, I was the best massage therapist there was. And as an energy healer, spiritual counselor, minister, I try just to live the truth and be genuine, keep it simple, you know? Promoting my website. I just started. I just published my website, brand new. I'm just getting going. Let me get in here with it. I just started my new website for local and distance. My energy work and healing and all that stuff. Oops. I shouldn't be trying to type. I am not I'm not a computer person. I stayed off of the computer. I didn't touch a computer for like 8 years. I should put a www in front so people know it's a website. Add. Here we go. There. I don't think you can click on it though. Anyway, but you can type in www.mastermichellelive or .info, and mastermichelle.com not working right now. If it is my site, which I owned it before, and the only reason that someone else would have bought it is that they were trying to get it away from me or something. I mean, I don't know. I think I purchased it and I used the privacy. I purchased the privacy stuff and forgot, and I can't find any information on how I bought it, and maybe not. Maybe somebody else bought it and sitting there watching me laughing right now. Anyway, mastermichelle.info, mastermichelle.live, mastermichelle.org.net. All four of those will take you to. Yeah. I don't know why I'm sitting here cleaning out this other bowl, because it wasn't cleaned out. So, and I brought it to show people the little thing. Wow, that's a good strain. Like, I'm all woo. My thing that I was talking about with doing the concentrates and even the vape, I don't vape like people smoke. You shouldn't vape or dab like people smoke. People smoke, inhale, and then exhale right away. Cigarettes especially. Some people take a hit use their cannabis and smoke the cannabis, inhale it, and hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale. I think that's more intelligent because, in all honesty, more of the THC and other cannabinoids will cross over the barrier into your lungs and actually, or the particles, they're minute little particles suspended in the air. And as they go into your lungs, they're sticking, they're kind of bouncing around, and a lot of them are sticking, and then that's how they're absorbed in. Tiny little microscopic oil drops basically suspended in the air. And so, and moisture too, and everything, but not smoke and not soot and not the combustible, the product of combustion. There's no products of combustion because it's just it's like making oil into steam, basically. Like you would make water into steam. It's vaporizing is making the oil like steam instead of burning. So when you breathe that in, it's more like, if you want something to compare it to, it's more like those asthma inhalers where you push it while you're breathing in, right? And you hold it for a few seconds and let the medicine get in there, and then you exhale. That's the whole idea to me for dabbing or vaporizing concentrates, however you do it. It's not like I see people puff and blow and puff, and they take these ginormous hits, and it's like, why? Like, just to make clouds? Because if you want to do that, you should probably get a hookah, because that's going to be your best. Like, it's just tobacco and fruit steam. That's all it is chopped up fruit, a sweetener like honey or molasses, minced, really finely minced fruit and tobacco. And that's mixed together, and then it's moistened and put into it. And it's not combusted either. That's vapor. You can sit at a hookah. It's like air candy, and you can just vape and hookah it away, like puff, puff, go. And it's really not, I mean, you're getting some nicotine, but it's not like smoking a cigarette at all. You shouldn't have any ash. When it's done, when your hookah bowl is done, it should look like a dark, dark, dark brown cookie, like a cookie that got left in the oven too long. It's burnt, but it's not black burnt. It's just like overcooked. You know what I mean? Anyway, in fact, if you're starting to, oh, sorry, I didn't see the chat. I see it there. If you're starting to, here, let me pop this up so I can see it on the screen, right? How about that? Let's see. Oh, I got ketchup. Does a plastic machine work run a problem? Yep. I got that one. It doesn't bother us. Nothing like working your ass off. I mean, like, as long as you weren't intending to please somebody else with all that hard work, you were doing it for yourself, right? Let's see, the certification expired once a year. You have like 1 or 2 month period where you can buy it again, but if it expires, someone else can buy it. Well, hopefully, if I bought it and I just can't find it, because I've been through Google, I bought it through Google Domains, and all my other domains are there, but I might have bought it through Google Domains and used a different email address or something. I don't know what I did, but I did it, or maybe I bought it through a subsidiary, somebody who sells sells domains through Google Domains. I have no idea, but it's marked private. It seems like, I mean, they didn't write me back and say your name is not on the account. They said you haven't provided enough information to verify it. So I kind of feel like my driver's license wasn't enough. I don't know. I don't have the account, and I can't find which account I use. I can't find. So maybe I didn't. I don't know. Anyway, website's lifespan is approximately 5 years, just an average. Yeah. Hopefully my stuff, I do exactly what you're talking about. This is a very thorough explanation for it. Basically, I'm just using it as pain med because I'm against it. Yep, the vape is pain medicine. I need a lot. Yeah, you know what? On that, really quick, I used to be really judgy about it. I honestly was. I was like, concentrates, vape, like that's like, to me, it was like, how did I describe it? It was like marijuana crack, right? Like it's taking it and making it as strong as you possibly. But I've used cannabis my whole life to stay away from psych drugs, and it just keeps me on an even keel and makes me able to self-coach and handle myself in the daytime and deal with people and take care of everything that I need to take care of. I was diagnosed with, well, at the time they called it they called it chronic trauma syndrome. When I was 15, that was like 35 years ago, more than 35 years ago. You know what I mean? That was a long time ago. But yeah, I use cannabis. I've used cannabis my whole life. I was into cocaine and alcohol before I even realized, before I knew anything about cannabis. And I skipped school one day with some kids, and they're like, well, we don't have any coke, but we've got some weed. You want to smoke? And I'm like, what's weed? Like I didn't know. And so when I tried it, I was pretty young too. I actually ended up going home and talking to my mom about it. She was safe, and she taught me, like, never get it from anyone that you don't trust with your life, because it can be laced. Like, you could smoke a joint with someone, they could share a joint with you, and it could be laced with, we had angel dust, PCP, like all kinds of things back then that would make you hallucinate and trip, or like yeah. So that was a thing. Kids would get, like, if you were being a rebel, you could get abducted. We knew that growing up. I don't know what happened to kids nowadays and why they can traffic so many kids, because Man, we'd have been vigilant. Like, I was pretty vigilant. I didn't mess around with anybody. I didn't know. I didn't trust people that came up to me randomly and stuff. Anyway, yeah, I was against it. I was like, oh, it's like crack cocaine. Like, what? It's like, that's crazy. Why do you need it so concentrated? Why can't you just use it straight from nature the way it's intended? Blah, blah, blah. But then I was in a place where my lower back hurt so bad that I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. Like, I literally was like, all the time. 24/7. I couldn't sleep. I was just, and I have a ridiculously high pain tolerance, right? And something came across my phone. I had recently, I hadn't been legal that long. I hadn't had my cannabis legalization stuff here. That's a whole nother story. I got that quickly because I ended up getting something that had something in it. Anyway, street weed's it's not safe. It's crazy. I don't know. At least not. I used to out from the same old biker dude for like 25 years. Bring anybody with you. Let them know you're coming so you don't get shot. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I trusted that guy. Like, he loved me. Like, anyway, but the back pain was so intense I couldn't even breathe. And an ad came across my phone or something that said, buy one, get two free. Two free. I was like, what? That's a good deal. And so it was a gram of crumble. It was crumble. And crumble's delicious. It's terpy. Oh, I love it. Anyway, and so I researched, I knew how to do it. I had already known how, like, I know scientifically, I understand the engineering behind it, right? And so I think I did get the nectar collector first because I like tinker toys. I like things I can put take apart and put together and stuff anyway. And so I got that. And I think I got like the little box, and that's when I got the pin, the actual, holy cow, this is sticky. Like, there was something in it. I gotta clean that. Yeah. But the pin, that's what I got. I got 3 grams of concentrate and the pen. So I like variety. I wasn't trying to go for a lot. I just like to be able to try different ones. Anyway, I tried different ones. I came home, I tried it, and my back pain, like, boom, was gone. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can breathe. And I think I slept for the first time. I was just like, hallelujah, I feel better. And so I ended all my judgment right then and there. Let's see. Yes, if you have to do it all the time, the vapor can accumulate in your lung tissue. You have to blow it out before you feel it trapping lungs. You know what I do, honestly, is, and I have, maybe because my lungs, I've smoked cigarettes, I've smoked actual cannabis, that's nothing for me, of dabbing. And I don't do a lot at once. That's one of my secrets, is sip, don't gulp. If you sip it, you actually can enjoy it more. And more, you rush. Why do you have to rush? You can always, you take 15 hits if you want. You can take 100 hits if you want. You don't have to get your entire effect in one hit. And I think that's where a lot of people damage their lungs, because they go to an extreme in a quick minute, wanting an instant effect. And come on, dabbing and vaping is the most direct instant effect you can get, right? I mean, that's of what we do. Medically, there are other faster, but that's medically. As far as cannabis medicinally and other herbs, smoking other herbs and things, that's the best. Yeah. Anyway, it says basically, where did it go? Oh, need to connect with, they did when I was a you know what? Yeah, when I was a kid. Now I'm 51 years old. I just turned 51 in September. So when I was a kid, cannabis could be with PCP, angel dust, pills, like what do you call them, benzos, and like benzodiazepines, the diet pills, and speed, and uppers and downers, and lefters and righters. No, I'm just kidding. But like Valium, and now it's Xanax and Ritalin, Ativan, Xanax and Ativan and all that. But it used to be uppers and downers, basically speed, diet pills, depressant like Valium and things like that. But then also cocaine, powder cocaine was huge. It was normal. People didn't think anything really of it. I mean, I grew up hearing drugs are bad in school, but culturally there was a more relaxed tone about it. It was like, yeah, you did some blow last night. You heard references to it a lot more. Now it's shocking. Now it's like, it feels more shocking in culture to hear about cocaine, like doing lines or something like that. It's like, oh my God. But it was kind of like, of course he does cocaine. How do you think he gets as much done as he gets done? You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't kind of normal. And that was the pharmaceutical push. You know what I mean? That was the result of that. If you're being fed ads about how pills can help, well, then why wouldn't the pills on the street, be able to help too? It's kind of an ignorant time that marketing was getting to people, and still, anyway. Let's see. But yeah, they used to lace it. That's what I learned. Don't smoke a joint with just anybody. At a concert, you wouldn't go and just like grab a joint from some stranger you don't know. First he could be sick, and I also came up in the time of AIDS, and we didn't know when it was in these. We didn't know if you could get it from standing next to someone or going into a bathroom behind someone. People were literally carrying like spray cans of Lysol around, and yeah. Let me see. But what I do with mine is when I inhale, I end up holding on to it, maybe 6 seconds, just enough. If I just inhale it and then blow it right back out, most of what I blow out, I'm wasting. But if I just close my mouth, and like when I'm doing breathing exercises, I actually take a 6-second inhale, I hold it for 6 seconds, and then I slowly exhale for 6 seconds, and then I don't do anything for 6 seconds, and then I slowly inhale. And so I'm more controlled in my breathing anyway, so I kind of use it. But yeah, let's see. I have to do it a lot. I'm trying to catch up, trying to miss any of it. And then holding it in, to me, is ghosting, where you hold it in until the smoke or vapor goes away. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sometimes that'll happen. That happens more frequently with dabbing. It shouldn't happen with smoke, because you don't want to absorb all of this and all the icky parts of the smoke from the combustion of the plant material, the fibers and stuff like that. But it's still not as bad. Like, it's still not as like, yeah. That's probably because the cocoa super paste now and associated with crystal more is horrid. You know what crystal meth is? I'm too vain. I'm not even a vain person. I'm not a vain I feel like I just look kind of goofy, which I'm sure everybody agrees with. I have a good time. I don't care what people think about me anymore. I might throw on some mascara if I feel it, but it's because I feel it, not like I'm trying to impress anybody, right? But I'm too vain for that. I've seen what people do on crystal meth, like picking their skin, their teeth rot out. I mean, like, I don't, nope. If you see pictures of someone who you know, like 10 years ago, before they got hooked on crystal meth, and now 10 years later, they aged like 100 years in that time. It's so crazy. It's scary. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Hey, let's do another one on that. How about it? So again, for anybody, I just heat the end up. I just basically drop it down over that. And you can kind of tell at the top because it'll start puffing. I don't know if you could see the vapor coming out of it. That's the reclaim falling down and starting to burn a little bit. So it's nice and red hot. See, come down here on my shirt so you can see it, right? Nice and hot. Oh my goodness. And my thing I closed. There we go. I'm going to hit that again. I didn't want to. I think it cooled a little too much. It cools very. That's the thing, is getting the right size glass at the bottom to hold the heat long enough. All right. So get it nice and hot like that. Just until it's comfortable. And I don't, when I do this, I gently just take this right to the very edge. I'll start where it's clean, right? And I'll just take it right to the very edge of that so that I'm not like wasting. I don't want it all to end up in here. Like if I get too close where I go right in the middle of the pile instead of hitting it gently on the edge of the pile, if I go right in the middle, I'm just going to suck a bunch of that up in here and it's just going to get stuck in there. It's kind of wasteful, right? Sometimes I'll even take my lighter and just kind of warm this and let some of it down. And it's almost probably I could probably get a week's worth of use out of it. What's in it right now. But and I have a couple other pieces I probably should have brought to show you. This is a lovely strain. It tastes so good. But I need to put it away because I enjoy it and I would just keep doing it. And then I'll be worthless. It's not mango haze is a different kind of, it's supposed to be a sativa, which I get, but it's like it has the very middle core is very relaxed. It's a very peaceful feeling. But then like I'm active in my mind thinking, you know, I'm thinking about what I need to get done in the garage and things to take next week for my mom's birthday party and the following week and getting ready for Halloween very quickly with all my big decorations and stuff that I don't want to put up before I go to my mom's because then we won't it'll be up and out in my yard when no one's here and I don't want that. So yeah. So fun. Mango haze, I like it a lot. Let's see. It's super laced now. Oh yeah. I didn't get that before. So the cocaine is actually really, really laced. I have no idea. The last I was involved in that's probably 20 years ago, and I wasn't heavy into it. I'm the kind of person, I'm such a control freak that I don't like something that's going to take over my ability to be in control. And so, like, I love cocaine. I love the way it makes me feel. I love the drip and the numb and all of it. I love everything about it. I just love it. Taste. But I'm super sensitive too. So I was a cheap date, you know, like literally a little bump on each side, and I'm good for 3 hours. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't. Last time I knew anything about anything, the guy that I was getting my weed from, my cannabis from, also had access and could get he started with. He was this rich guy down in Southwest Florida, and he lived on the water, so it was no problem for someone to come up to his place on a boat. Like, it was no big deal. From not from the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, actually, it was from the Gulf. It was from the lower Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, so it wasn't really, it wasn't that big a deal. It wasn't as hard if people were cool and didn't call attention to themselves, But the last time I went over, and he got like 98% pure from like straight from Colombia. And so you literally had to cut it or it could kill you. But the last time I went over there, he was playing in his kitchen, melting it down and making like bubblegum flavor and grape flavor. And he's like, "You really could try this." And I'm like, I'm good, thanks. Like, I don't want to get sucked up in that. Like, I know it would. I saw my friends. This guy I knew had a beautiful wife, 3 kids, a house, and like everything was nice. His animals and his family, his dogs and cat and family, and he had like a teenage daughter, or like a 10-year-old boy, and like a 2-year-old boy, and his life was just full of love and friends and everything. And he started doing coke to work more, put in more hours at work. He had the right intentions. He was not like going to the clubs and doing it. He was actually, not that that's okay, but he was trying to do something to help him work more hours to provide for his family. But because it became an addiction, it became more and more expensive. He ended up losing his wife, his family all left. The wife moved away with the kids because he basically put their house and their vehicles and everything, their whole entire life, he put up his nose. And he ended up falling asleep underneath the trucks that he was working on for U-Haul as a repair person. Got fired from that job and didn't have I don't know what happened to him, to be honest. I had to disconnect, because when you can't help him, like when you can't do anything, it's just painful. It's just painful. What, like, you can't change someone else's behavior. If they're sabotaging yourself and you care about them, sometimes it's too hard. It should be too hard to watch. Like that's natural, because that's like our way to survive and protect ourselves, honestly, in a harsh kind of way, right? Oh, is this? Yeah. Yeah, they don't. They use mining tools. The crystal meth, I know, it's like, well, and they start getting like the patches everywhere, and their teeth start rotting up along the gum lines and stuff. I'm like, no, I like this too much. Like, I like my face. I like my physical beingness for now, like, it's, nah, I don't want to mess with it. Anyway, Mango Haze is the bomb. I like it a lot. Definitely positive reviews for Mango Haze. And that one, the live butter, BUDDER, from Trulieve. It's called the brand then Trulieve. Like, Trulieve is the dispensary, and then each dispensary has their brands. And so they have MUSE, MUSE, with the keyhole is kind of the emblem. MUSE is one of their brands, and this is the MUSE Mango Haze Live Butter, BUDDER, butter, and it smells so good. Definitely give it a try. Anyway, I'm going to jump off of this review. I will probably come back on in a bit, get a few more reviews done. I got to get caught up. Do watch MasterMichelle.info or MasterMichelle. Also, when the phones had actual keyboards, the buttons would wear off in a matter of months. Chemicals seep out of them. Really? That's crazy. I did not know that. You mean like the sidekick on the phones? Yeah. Wow. Or before, yeah. I'm like, before they had keyboards, what do you mean? I'm like, oh yeah, it's all touchscreen now. You're right. There's no keyboard. That was a weird transition, like going through that, because I came from landlines, not just to me, a cordless landline was a phenomena. Like, oh my gosh, you don't have to stand literally attached to the wall to talk on the phone anymore. And then I'm like, you mean I've got this little box on my side that you could call me and leave your phone number in it? I know to call that phone number? That's freaking amazing. You get a hold of me anytime you want. Now we don't even have, like, it's funny. It's funny how the thinking changes. It goes from, like, text messaging, even. With the flip phones, we used to text message on the keyboard. I could still do that. Like, I got really good at the numbers. My phone is like a powerhouse of whatever number I want to touch is like, I got it. I can type out things as I think and about as fast as I can talk. Like, it would be like that. That's probably, yeah. All on. Yep. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And thanks for coming by. Need to connect. Stop in anytime. I enjoyed our chat. You're good people. Love and light. Hey, don't forget, you are a sovereign spiritual being having a human experience. Did you know that? You were actually in existence before your physical body was born. You weren't born. You were born into your body. It's true. And guess what? When this body that you're in right now is done and gone and is dissolved into the ground, you will still exist, just in another incarnation or representation, or ascended as part of all one. However, which you are now. If you can ascend now, you don't have to wait to ascend. That's the beauty of it. That's the good news. So you can live in spirit all the time. Anyway, don't forget, you're a spiritual being. You're not a human being. Stop saying, I'm only human. I'm a human being. No, you're not. You're a spiritual entity. You are a spirit. You're the ghost. You're like the driver. You're not the car. You're not the body. You're the operator of the body, right? This is your tool. These are your windshield that you look through. Steering, or these are your blinkers, and part of your operational stuff. Your feet are your tires spinning on the road. You got to go out and manifest your happiness. So peace, love, and light. Don't forget, you're a sovereign entity. Sovereign means not man given, like not given by man. It comes from above and beyond man. So sovereign entity, you're free. You're a free spirit having a human experience. So go out there and manifest your happiness. Thanks for chatting.